Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another brand new spiritual enlightenment podcast where we talk about ideas that transform your life and make your life way better. Today, we have a very special guest, Paul Tully, my long term friend. In fact, my friends, this is going to blow your mind. He's the person that introduced Carlos to me. So, without this man, this relationship wouldn't exist. These podcasts wouldn't exist. Maybe I wouldn't even have existed because everybody
Big
knows
fact.
Carlos is such a big influence in my life. So Paul is a raw vegan, not a vegan, raw vegan. Paul is very spiritually aware, a wise master, if I can claim such a thing. Very successful young man living in Atlanta. And today we're going to discuss some very deep spiritual topics of enlightenment, spirituality, God, the existence or non thereof. We're going to answer your questions live on stream. So, Paul, welcome to the show. How are you doing? And good to see you.
Amazing. I'm doing so amazing. Thank you for having me. What an introduction. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, they're gonna have their agenda about coming against me. I'm gonna be having a whole completely separate video while they're trying to do theirs. My video is gonna be called "Stop Wasting Your Time Healing." So while they're gonna try to attack me, I'm gonna come back at them with that. So good luck to both of you.
Yeah, so
Um,
I think a good place to start is Paul, you've been on the healing journey for quite some time. In fact, you were the
Mm-hmm.
first person to mention the fact of the juicing and the concept of juicing, and
Mm-hmm.
you juiced a lot. And even right now,
Yeah.
you're on a dry fast.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us first about juicing. How did this get into
Yeah.
your life, and how amazing this is?
Yeah. How did it get into my life? Wow. I was 18 when I started my first fast. It was a 4-day juice fast. I did just vegetable juices. And I wound up in the hospital because I did it so incorrectly. I lost like 12 pounds and I was like passing out. I had no idea what I was doing. I forgot why I got into it. I think I was for my high school, my senior project was what diet would allow athletes the quickest recovery. So I studied like real close with the football team and removed dairy from some diets of some players, added grains to some diets of some players, kind of just like tested it. This one was higher in protein. This one was higher in carbs. This one was more plant-based. This one was more carnivore. Um, and I started experimenting on myself. So I just I just started trying every other diet, and juicing was one of those diets. So that's kind of how I got into it. In terms of the powers of it, like the healing powers of it, I actually have a completely different stance about it now. It was extremely healing to a degree. I feel like it's kind of like a workout, like push-ups, so to speak, where when you start doing it, there's resistance initially for you to build muscle off of. But then once you get to a certain level of strength, there's not much more resistance. Now you have to start adding weight to grow more muscle. I'm finding the same thing with juice fasting, and I've juiced quite a long time. So I have over 600 days juice fasted, with my longest one being 110 days. I'm seeing more healing now in the dry fasting than I am the juice fasting. So that's why I'm doing that now. Um, but for the majority of people, juice fasting is going to be extremely healing. Any form of fasting, really, not just juice fasting, but water fasting and dry fasting, because when someone's sick and you stop feeding them, it allows the body. I'm not too familiar into the science. I'm more into the doing. So what I've realized is that it actually allows the body to receive a break and actually start working on itself. So, and I think for 90% of Americans, a juice fast is going to be extremely beneficial and extremely healing and extremely enlightening, and uh, it would be a wonderful journey for them, in my opinion, for sure. So.
Tell us the longest time you've been on a fast for, a juice fast or any other.
Yeah, 110 days. That's my longest. I was going to double it and do 220, but I was on day 80 of the juice fast I was going to break it on, and I wasn't. I don't know. It's almost like like push-ups. Like my body just stopped. I stopped seeing a lot of growth. Did a 2-day dry fast and saw more progress with that than I did an 80-day juice fast. So, but yeah, 110 is my longest.
And tell
Can I
us,
ask?
yeah,
All
what
right. That's like whatever. Can I ask you what healing you saw in 2 days, please?
Yeah. So the main sign is lymphatic drainage through the urine. So your urine, when you pee in a jar and you let it sit for a little bit, it's actually supposed to start clouding. Like it's not supposed to be like it's not supposed to remain clear. There's actually different signs. Dr. Morse has a good info chart on this where it shows you like the different types of urine you can have, what different colors mean, if it's foamy, that might be an indication of, if I'm correct, too much protein in the diet. So mine was clear all the way through the 110-day juice fast, by the way, and the 80-day juice fast, by the way, right after that 110-day juice fast. It was completely clear. I'd let it sit, by the way. This was the crazy part. They didn't tell me how long I was supposed to let it sit for. I let it sit for 3 days, and they said it was supposed to ferment. It didn't do anything. So that's how little drainage was actually in my urine, that nothing bad was happening. If you let piss sit alone in the jar for 3 days, it's supposed to stink really bad. It's supposed to start fermenting. You're supposed to see visual indications, right? So for the
your piss was
it was
toxin free.
draining. It was draining. So for the 2-day dry fast, it actually within minutes of peeing into the jar, it started separating and you started seeing cloudiness,
No, I
which is
get
a
it.
sign of
I
the
get it.
kidneys and the adrenals working
You're
so that you can
happy.
actually see
So it
lymphatic
sounds like
drainage.
I
So
get that. So it sounds like you're happy about the fact that your piss didn't have any cloudiness to it. Okay, I'm talking about.
no, happy that it did.
Okay, cool. But what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is, what difference did you feel? What healing did you feel?
It's a good question. I actually felt like shit. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry for the language. I felt really bad. I felt very.
This is the healing that we're talking about. Okay,
Yeah.
I love it.
I felt a lot of aches, a lot of pains, and actually the first 24 hours of the dry fast, it was a hard dry fast, so there was no contact with water whatsoever, internally or externally. Um, there were like these thoughts like screaming in my head, and by the end of the second day, they were like completely gone. So for the first 24 hours, it was HELL. It was not good.
Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope maybe I don't know, Shiva. Maybe you can translate what I'm trying to say. You said that you did juicing and you did other things
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, but that during a dry fast in those 2 days you felt the most healing that you ever had experienced
let
before
let me
with
It
it.
was, yeah, it was more than the 80-day because it was 110-day juice fast, no kidney filtration, 80-day juice fast, no kidney filtration, 2-day dry fast, kidney filtration. So,
Okay, but from that kidney filtration, did you
mm-hmm.
feel anything?
100%. I did not feel good for the first 24 hours.
No, I'm talking good in
It was
terms
really
of
bad.
good results. Like why? Like I'm trying to figure out why I would want to do something like this. So
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
my
you
pee's
want to
gonna
go
be
through the
cloudy.
modalities of fasting first.
Mhm.
I wouldn't just recommend someone just start dry fasting. I would recommend juice fasting, and then if you're seeing progress with that, stick with that. If you're not, then go up a level of healing and go into water fasting. And if you're seeing progress with that,
Shiva,
stick
can
with
you help
that.
me out?
yeah, let me
Can you
jump
help me
in.
out?
Let me jump in. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that the title that I said this YouTube video, Two Healers versus
Mm-hmm.
Non-Believer Talk About Spirituality. This is a perfect succinct title. Carlos doesn't believe in healing. He thinks it's a bunch of BS. And, I think in Carlos's view, what a person would do, dry fast and juice fast, is like, what does it matter? You just live and you die and that's it. Carlos doesn't understand the sensitivity that it takes to realize, oh, when you fast, your cells, the disease dies, and your body starts to consume all the putridness. You're actually purifying yourself.
Literally. Yeah.
So Carlos would definitely benefit from a fast.
I don't mind that. I actually, you know, like I don't have any problem with that being true. What I'm asking Paul to say is like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I
Something.
did this thing. You made the claim that you felt the most healing that you've ever felt. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what that felt like. Like, did you feel extra happy? Did you feel more energy? Did you feel
Mm-hmm.
like what did you actually feel?
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely more energy after day 2 for sure. Day 1 was just really bad, and then day 2 is when energy started like coming through the roof. Strength, like it felt like I just got done working out. Like when you get a pump. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't work out, so I felt like this pump, almost like someone was just like putting protein powder inside of me and like working me out when I was sleeping. Like it was, and I would just wake up and I felt like super strong. But the main thing was mental. It was like it like it, my thoughts were literally screaming at me, like they were not mine. And then by the end of the second day, it was like my mind was so quiet. It was like pure bliss. Like I just no negative thoughts, emotion. Like I don't know. It was,
So why
and I
why
think more so that's what I'm chasing. Go ahead.
so why are you doing this, Paul? What inspires you to fast all these in all these ways?
Yeah. So I actually, this is a good point that Carlos could bring up as well. Was that I thought what I was chasing was physical health. I just didn't know it was mental health. I thought what was wrong with me was physical because I did not know how to manage my mental health for so long that it started manifesting itself in physical states of dis-ease. So I'd have all of these symptoms physically, and I'm like, okay, so if I can go on this juice fast and not eat for 110 days, then I'll heal. And it was like it got rid of the physical symptoms, but it didn't get rid of the root cause, which was the mental issues. Like I just didn't know how to deal with myself and regulate my own emotions and understand and navigate life. So it's like that's why I started. Um, but yeah, and now that I have that under control, it's like the fasting is just like turbocharging everything. Like it's almost like a speed run to enlightenment is what it feels like, to be honest with you. So
Yeah, Carlos is there juice fasting right now.
there we go. That looks delicious.
And Carlos maybe doesn't believe in fasting, or Carlos has some fancy ideas. We're going to talk more about Carlos, and we're going to bring up religion actually next, because that's what we were discussing before yesterday. We were talking about Sadhguru and the fact that you can consecrate different objects, and Carlos doesn't believe in that. I see this to be true. Like energy can be consecrated. In fact, churches are consecrated. Most Christian churches, if you go there, it's a very peaceful and very nice energy. But Carlos, for some reason, doesn't see that to be the case. So, where do we go from here, folks? What?
I mean, my initial question to Paul is he said that he's like, oh, I thought
Mm-hmm.
it was seeking physical healing, but I realized it was emotional. I
Mm-hmm.
don't see why you don't think they're
Uh,
connected. First of all, I mean, your brain is part of your
No, they
physical
were.
body.
They definitely were. The fact that I was struggling so much mentally that it started to manifest itself as physical illness shows how much it's connected. Yeah.
And you don't think it was the other way around?
That I had physical problems first and then that caused mental health issues?
Yeah.
No. I'm sure that can be a possibility for some people. That was not my experience.
Like, for example, I mean, mental health issues are things like depression, anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's usually what people deal with. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a known fact there's food that can cause depression,
100%.
anxiety.
100%.
So, you change your diet, you feel better. I mean, like, like,
But I didn't though. That was the problem. I,
well,
I, I was on the cleanest diet I could possibly be on, and I still had all of these problems.
Well, so that goes more into my realm now of things. So this is where I
Mm-hmm.
go into my favorite subject is Michaela Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you used the term I was on the cleanest diet, right? And now
Mm-hmm.
the question is, what is the cleanest diet, right? Because
In my opinion, yeah.
right, so basically to you, I already know what it is. It's basically juicing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or even now, maybe you would you would even argue even eating nothing, consuming nothing is the cleanest diet, which I guess there's no way to argue around that. So this is the same thing Michaela Peterson did. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
she noticed that whenever she fasted, her symptoms would go away from her autoimmune disease, and then she would
Whenever she
gradually,
fasted. Oh,
yeah,
not. Oh, wow. I didn't know she fasted. I thought she was
yeah,
just
yeah.
carnivore.
This is how she started. So this is how she figured out because um, she was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and the doctors gave her a certain amount of time to, short amount of time left to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but one thing she had noticed in her experimentation was that whenever she just didn't eat, she felt better for whatever reason. And then so she made the determination that it was something that she was eating that was causing her symptoms, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then that's what got her started on her journey of an elimination diet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then she went to what normally people would consider to be the cleanest diet, right? And normally when you
Mm-hmm.
think about that cleanest diet, like Shiva would say would probably be vegan. You'd probably say it might be fruits and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but so what ended up happening for her is that she tried all of that, and her symptoms, no matter what she ate, kept coming back until she decided to just try eating beef, salt, and water.
Mm-hmm.
And then she did that, all of her symptoms went away. And so then, from my point of view, she could make the argument that in her particular case, that would be the cleanest diet for her specific uh,
Mm-hmm.
body.
Yeah.
Does the cow agree? That's the cleanest diet?
What? Please, please tell me he didn't ask me. Did he just ask me for the cow's opinion? Is that what he just said?
Yes, I did. Does the cow agree? That's the cleanest diet. Oh, Michaela
Mm.
Peterson, you're so nice. Such a clean diet. No. I don't know why my microphone is so low after. Anyways,
Your mic sounds fine.
Yeah, your mic sounds fine to
Yeah.
me too.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are actually both redlining. Yeah, so that's just the thing that I have a problem with these things that I consider them sort of fads, and I think
Mm-hmm.
anybody who's ever looked into diet, I mean, I think we all kind of go through this phase, which is something that I feel like you're kind of going through, which is where I go back to the title of my video, Stop Wasting Your Time with Healing, is because when if you were to go online right now and just look up what's the best diet, you're going to see people give you completely different answers, and they're all going to have amazing results.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have a guy on carnivore, you're going to say, "Oh my God, this
Mm-hmm.
is the best I've ever felt." You're going to have a guy on vegan, this is the best I've ever felt. It's going to have a
Mm-hmm.
vegetarian, a Mediterranean, a paleo,
Mm-hmm.
a keto, like, and everyone's going to say this is the best I ever felt. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what do you do with that?
Experiment. Go by your own experience. Do what works best for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So does that
because
mean that
it's
you've given up on your theory that you used to tell me that there's a one universal human diet?
no, it doesn't mean I've given up on the theory. It just means I'm now more accepting of people's own personal testimonies, right?
Wow.
And instead of
Wow,
like
wow,
trying
wow,
to be
wow,
like,
wow,
because
wow.
I can think that this is the best, but I can just now accept that like, okay, you want to take the path of a carnivore. Okay. I don't have a problem with that anymore like I used to, you know.
But is it
I do.
coming from
So
like this is it coming from this place? But Paul, when you say that, are you coming from a place of like, you just want to be accepting of other people's decisions, but like you still technically
no, I
disagree
just
that
no, I just don't want to be at disease myself.
I get that
Like I
part, but what
like
I'm
I was
saying is
Mhm.
I'm just saying though, but still from like a technical point, would you still like I get you don't want to be at a disease, like so you don't want to have confrontation within yourself or disease yourself, whatever. But
Mhm. Yeah.
do you still think that they're wrong? in let's say Michaela, for example, choosing to be a carnivore?
No, it's physically impossible for her to be wrong. If she had these symptoms and she no longer has these symptoms,
Okay, cool.
she can't be wrong.
I like this.
In that regard.
I like that.
In the regard of I believe that this is the best diet for humans. It's like she can be wrong in that aspect. I can disagree with her on that. But in
Yeah.
terms of like her having her own experience, like many carnivores do, because you have
Mhm.
ex-vegans that go carnivore, you have ex-carnivores that go vegan, and they
They feel
you know,
better.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like
Mhm.
that is arguable as well, though. Some people didn't do vegan
Shiva,
right, some people didn't do carnivore right. So it's like
Shiva, I want to hear your response to that.
Yeah, I'm curious. How do the animals feel?
Oh my freaking! Can we avoid that? Just
Michaela
let's let
Peterson, I
that.
wonder how her victims feel. She feels
Wait.
great. How do her
Let's
victims
address
feel?
that. Just let's wait a second. If you were in her shoes, she tried vegan first.
Oh,
That
she
was like
did. Did
one of
she?
the first ones she did. She tried vegan, she tried vegetarian, she tried it all. Of course, like think about it. When people think about going clean, like everyone already automatically assumes, okay, I need to stop eating less meat. Everyone knows that. So she tried that first. It didn't work for her.
Oh,
So I want to know, regardless of how her victims feel, I just want to know what would you have told her to do?
we're gonna take her word for it, right? That nothing worked, and she tried everything, and she has to eat cows. She has to slaughter cows and
So
pay
your
for them.
best argument is just to just have a bad is just a bad faith argument. She's just a
Uh,
liar. Okay, so
yes,
she's just a
yeah.
liar.
No.
Okay,
I'm not claiming
okay.
that, but hey, she tried everything. Okay, maybe. And look, if I was in that situation, would I be eating cows, murdered cows? I mean, Jesus, maybe. But I would try, okay? I wouldn't give up. My health being sustained by other beings dying, sentient and intelligent creatures at that, oof, that must not feel too good to the heart.
So sad. But what would you do if you actually were in
I
that
agree, it is
situation?
sad.
Would you actually give let's just say for argument's sake you were actually in that situation and you actually tried vegan. Let's say she's not a liar. Let's say you're not a liar. Let's say you actually went vegan, it didn't work, and then you went carnivore 100% meat, salt, and water, and all your symptoms went, and you tried everything and like you actually did it and it didn't work, and you
You know
did
what I
carnivore.
wouldn't think? I wouldn't think, oh, me eating slaughtered dead animals is the cure.
No, no, fine, but would you do it? Is what I'm saying, or
Um,
would you allow yourself to pass away?
no, I would definitely do it. I wouldn't pass away. But that's
Okay,
probably
cool,
the only, yeah. But I would
good,
still
good.
try.
Another
I'm
round
sure
of
there's a
applause.
solution. I'm sure the cure isn't to eat cows, dead cows. Oh, Michaela, you found the solution. You just eat dead cows. Oh my god. That's just making the symptoms not go there. What's the cause? What's the root cause of that? So she needs to start paying attention a little bit more.
I don't know. I'm giving myself a W on both of
We have some
those.
comments. Casing says meat does help when someone quits everything because the culprit is autoimmune disease, Celtic disease, where you avoid gluten. You will feel better regardless of meat. Yeah,
She
that's
tried
also.
all that. She tried all that. She tried all that. She went on an elimination diet. Okay, and not only that, she tries adding things back into her diet little by little as well.
Okay. I'm
And
curious
so
also.
far, mm,
I'm curious also why are you saying this? Because Michaela Peterson's one person. Does that mean that everybody should start experimenting with carnivore diet and eating dead animals?
well, no. What I'm saying is that according even to what Paul just said, you'll see if you just do a brief search online on YouTube, just type in like what's the best diet, you're going to see testimonies from people. Some of them do better on different diets. This is just a known fact. I mean, everybody that ever looks into diet besides you, because you're such a fanatic of said guru, you're not even willing to do the research. Everyone who researches diet finds the same problem. You find contradictory information based off of who you listen to.
Yes. The problem that I'm talking about is ethics, my friend. So this goes a little bit beyond your health. Health is very important, but ethics and health, they're not so far away from each other. Let me just pause and briefly talk about a super chat that I received by Oper Cullum, $5. Thank you very much, sir. Shout out to you. He says, quote, "Hey Shiva, I have a new sauce that I'm going to put on the grocery store shelves. Can I send you a free bottle to taste test? I call it Tamasic sauce. Tamasic sauce. I would love to taste test your sauce. Please don't clip that.
Vegan? You're asking me are you just gonna willy-nilly accept it? What if it's just like a bunch of pig fat?
Yeah, if it's vegan, guaranteed 100%. I'll taste test it and I'll make sure to include this in my video. So I'll give you a nice promotion if you're saying it's true. Absolutely. I love sauce.
That's
I love strange sauce that comes in the mail from other men.
Those strange male sauce. Is that what he just said?
Yeah.
Okay, alrighty then.
Anyway,
So anyway, back to my video about why you should stop healing. So Paul, tell us
Mhm.
what other things have you tried to heal yourself?
What ailments or what have I done to heal?
To heal. So I understand now that you're trying a certain diet or
Mm-hmm.
lack thereof.
Yeah.
And you're also, my understanding is you're also doing other things to heal as well, like life coaches and things of that nature, right?
Yeah. Well, physically or mentally?
Mentally, I guess, emotionally.
Okay. Yeah. So I met this man. He's my sad guru for sure. David Diane Fisher, and he's absolutely changed my life. He's helped me more than the past 10 years that I've spent trying to heal myself. He helped me more in an hour and a half over the phone.
Can you do me a favor? Can you humor me really quickly? And can you just really quick just give me a moment of candor? Can you tell the audience how many times you've made that exact same claim to me about several different teachers?
For sure. Probably a
Just like,
million.
yeah,
Probably 1,000,001 for sure.
yeah. About like
This
once every 6 months, we could say maybe, probably a little shorter than probably like once every 3 months. You come and say to me that you met this guy, that it's the best thing you've ever felt, and that
for sure.
the
For
most
sure.
healing you. Okay,
This is the new one.
I'm really glad.
No, yeah. This is the new one.
Shiva, do you see? I really want you to take something away from Paul. This is what I love about Paul, is that at least he's friggin' honest. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not honest.
He doesn't. No, you're not. You're
You're
not.
a
Not just.
liar, Shiva.
You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a charlotte. You're a charlatan. Okay, Paul is at least. I mean, that was the most honest thing I've ever heard. So, shout out.
I feel like that can be the journey for a lot of people.
Let me ask
Where
you this: Do you feel like in the next 6 months to a year that you'll have a new guy?
For sure.
And
For sure. I will say that I think I'm starting to cement into my mentors. So I feel like David Diane Fisher will be the mental one,
okay,
an emotional one that I will be with for years. Will I be with him forever? I can't tell you. Someone else who I've now gravitated towards on the physical realm after John Rose and Dr. Robert Morse is fasting with Trevor on Instagram. He's really into dry fasting, and I have a call with him this month. And he's kind of my physical body. So we have David for my mental and emotional body. We have Trevor for my physical body, and then I'd say the other mentor who I've been with for many years is Alex Hermosi. I haven't personally mentored with him, but he's just someone I've stuck with, and he's kind of been my financial body. So those are kind of my three guys right now. So yeah.
So I guess just to close out my loop, and then let you guys continue with yours. We spoke about this yesterday. I guess you can kind of see where I come with my conclusion, right? Why, like, I think people should stop wasting their time trying to heal, because basically what ends up happening is you jump from guru to guru every 3 months, and then you're like, this is the best thing I ever felt, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, this is getting boring now, next thing. And then it's like, oh, it's the best thing I ever felt, and then boring, and next thing. And I'm pretty sure this is costing you thousands of dollars at a time. In 10 years, you're still not healed. I would argue, right? You're still not like completely healed, right, Paul? So
Completely healed. I would say it's more of a journey of progression than it is a journey of destination. And have I seen progress? Am I more healed each and every year than I am the prior? Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's tough to
Yeah.
say there's progression because it's just something I feel intuitively that like after 10
Mhm.
years you would think you'd be done. But like
Mhm.
I'm curious to think of like, do you ever
No.
because if there's progression, like when do you see a timeline of like when you could possibly finish this progression?
Finn, what does that look like to you? What
I
is
don't know. I don't
okay.
think it exists. That's my
Yeah.
point. I don't think you'll ever be healed personally.
Yeah, I agree with that statement in the sense that like the body is in a constant state of healing, and that's where I want to be. Is
Wouldn't
just
you
getting out
wouldn't
of
you
my.
wouldn't you say that the body's in a constant state of falling apart?
Yeah, it depends on what you do with this vehicle. If you're unaware of the manual of the body
No,
and
no,
you're using it against its,
I'm
you
coming
know,
from the stance that
mhm.
you're obviously still not gonna live forever. Like you're still gonna
Correct, correct. It's the quality. It's the quality. My quality of life has absolutely increased. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. The quality of life. I think Carlos doesn't understand that or doesn't want to understand that it's not about healing like Carlos says, maybe even Paul is saying, that the quality of life is improving and increasing. And I can see it in
Mhm.
Paul. I can hear it in his voice. It's a nice quality human being.
Yeah, Los is a piece of no. Oh my gosh, I'm just kidding.
I will say this, from the time that I've met you, Paul, you've definitely grounded yourself a lot more.
Yeah, that was David for sure.
Yeah, you've definitely grounded
Mhm.
yourself a lot more. I feel like it
Mhm.
started before David, honestly. I feel like I think I mentioned that to you way before you met David.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know what time period it was. I feel like it was after that one situation I don't want to name, but I feel like it
What?
was sometime
Uh,
after that. Something happened there that you changed. I feel like
yeah, we
your
can
ego went.
talk about it for the viewers if you want. I'm open to it.
Um, I'm just talking about a specific relationship. I don't
Yeah.
wanna, like, be messy about it. I just feel like something I don't know what it was that I used to feel from you. You definitely were always high energy, but I feel
Manic.
like you
I
were
think manic. I think manic is a much better label.
I still
For
think you
sure.
have that, but I think that you
Mhm.
used to have manic with an ego,
Mhm.
and now what I see is manic without with, like, way less ego,
Yeah. I
and I
definitely
feel
don't feel manic. The energy is a lot more sustained. I would define manic as this like sound wave that looks like a roller coaster,
well,
where it's just extreme. Yeah.
to me, manic is basically a compulsive obsession with something,
Hmm.
and I still think you have that, and it's healing. You have an
Oh,
compulsive
okay.
obsession with healing. Yeah,
I
so that's what I
misunderstood.
was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I thought that manic
So
was like the ups and downs of energy, like extreme ups and downs of energy. Okay.
yeah, that would be more like bipolar type of thing. But
Got it. I probably had that too. So I guess I am healing, huh? This is something I do want to say, which I think is actually really great for people who are on their healing journey.
Mhm.
Is that at least I did this, where I looked at every person as like this life raft that was going to do it for me. And while they didn't do it for me, they did help me a little bit, but nowhere near to the degree that I wanted them to help me. Like I wanted someone to save me. And it was the best lesson. It just took me 10 years to learn that no one can actually do that for me. So
Woo!
it was just like, it was
Can
like,
you say it
it
again for
really,
Saguro believers one more time? Can you say that again one
it,
more time for Saguro
well,
believers?
it's
What up, Danny in the
it's
chat? Go ahead.
it's for me. It was just like no one could do it for me, and it allowed me to
Amen.
really. But the beautiful thing about that is that now I actually can have a mentor, like with David, because I'm not looking at him to save me anymore. Where every
Ooh,
every previous mentor, yeah.
let me ask you this, Paul, because I remember this is a problem that we
Hmm.
used to have when you used to go
Hmm.
to therapy. You used
Hmm.
to tell me that you used to go to therapy and
Hmm.
lie to the therapist.
100%.
Do you still do that?
No, because I don't go to therapists. I still lie though. No, just kidding. But no,
Like, do you
I
still? And I'm not even saying lying. When I say lying,
Mhm.
I'm including uh, uh, what do you call it? What do you call it when you don't include something?
Lying by omission.
Lying by omission.
by
Yeah.
omission. No, I actually experienced the opposite, and it's a really weird sensation because I still feel. I
Like
wouldn't
with
say
David,
still.
you said David is your new coach, right, David?
Yeah,
Like, do you tell him everything?
everything,
Like 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 all the
everything.
down and dirty, like everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
Why
Okay,
did you
cool.
lie to
yeah.
therapists in the first place?
That's a really good question that I knew the answer to. And I'm starting to.
You have no idea how bad
Oh,
he used to piss me
what?
off. He was going to
Mm,
therapy for years, right?
hmm
And I'd be like, "Oh, did you tell him about this?" And he'd be like, "Hell no, I would never tell him that part." And I'm like, "Well,"
Do you remember
like,
why? Do you remember why I wouldn't? I'm not remembering why.
yeah, this was
Um,
the conversation we had. Remember the one where you said, where you basically said that you wanted, because then you didn't want to be told that you were wrong and she was right, type of deal.
oh, so
And then you were like,
yeah.
this, this is the YouTube video that I probably still have
Oh
it.
yeah,
This
I'm traumatized. Yeah,
I'm traumatized. She did. I'm traumatized because she didn't let me traumatize her.
traumatizer. Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I was scared. I think I was scared something was going to be wrong with me. I don't feel like that's the answer, but I don't remember exactly why, but I
no,
would do it.
that was the. I'm telling you, the answer was because you
Yeah.
didn't want to hear that you were wrong and that she could possibly be right.
Yeah, I would do it
You,
religiously too,
yeah,
Shiva. I would do it. It wasn't like one therapist. It was like
yeah.
every therapist I just would lie to.
So let me ask you this
Um,
then, because now the
yep.
question becomes: is now that you're seeing David and you're no longer in a relationship, so
Mhm.
maybe it's not so much that you've healed that part, that you're being honest. Maybe you just have no one else to blame at this point, and so it's really just about you now. But do you think like
Yeah,
maybe?
it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's always been about me. I just am now starting to realize that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Danny says Shiva hit 20 push-ups randomly. Prove them you're alpha.
I like that. I like that. Go ahead, Sheila. 20 random push-up, bro.
Consecrate your love into the wooden
That
floor.
would go. That would go. That's literally what he does. Shiva, hit it. Hit the 20. Come on, Shiva.
Um,
Hit the
not in my
20.
outfit, not in the
Hit the
nice clothes.
20. Hit the quan, as they would say.
I'll do some dips.
This is so boring. Look at them
Boom.
lame dips, dude.
All right, interesting.
Thank you for see, you're not being viral enough here. Imagine the clip, Shiva doing 20 push-ups. Game over. We'd be rich and famous the next day.
Oh,
Here we
he's doing
go.
it for
Let's
the
see.
gram.
Let's do it. Let's do it. These better be good. These better be good.
I
Let's
love
see.
his
Here we
fit
go.
though.
Shiva. Wait.
I
No,
wanna
turn your
wear clothes. I want to wear clothes like
Shiva.
that.
Shiva, put your head towards the camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Those are clean.
5, 6, 7,
Oh, he's giving
8,
us angles.
10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21,
That's wonderful.
21. Shout out to
That
Shiva
was
Kailash.
great. Shout out to Shiva. That was great.
Shout out to Shiva. Wow, Shiva. I'm really impressed.
I
And
did.
That
thank
was
you for the
great.
angle. Thank you for the angle change, by
The
the way.
angle change, yeah.
That did it for me right there, for
Yeah.
sure. I got a stiffy now from
Dude, after this call, you got to tell me where you get your wardrobe from. I'm trying to dress like that.
me too. I'm literally trying to dress like that. Legit. I went to a store once and I tried one of those fits on and I was like, whoa, I look cool as heck. Like, especially being when you're bald, it looks even cooler because you look like a monk. But anywho. Shiba, how was that?
Yeah, I did 21 for the spiritual enthusiasts.
Was that your limit, or was that like you were just like, okay, I'm done doing this?
I could go for some more, but yeah, I could go for some more.
He was gonna start levitating. Just
We'll
stop
just take,
using his arms
I
and
didn't
just
want
like
to. I didn't want to.
we'll just take your word at it. We'll just take your word at
Mhm.
that. He's bleeding from his nose.
I didn't want to get you too excited, so I just did 21. But next stream it'll be naked. If you donate,
Oh my god.
Next person. Next person. Next person to super chat $100. He has to do it.
I'll
Oh my
strip
god.
to
No,
my
no,
underwear.
no,
If someone
no,
donates 100, it's an underwear off stream. I mean,
no,
underwear only.
no,
Nah.
let's not make false promises. I just watched
All right. No, I
just
can't.
watched some news network guy get sued for some BS like that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
anyway, yeah, that's just a joke, guys. Anyway, no, that's good though. I'm glad Shiva for you doing that. Shiva, I'm curious. Have you noticed any like bodily changes yet? Physical changes in your body yet from your working out?
Yes, I have. Very happy to say that it's very easy for me to build muscle. Yeah. So I'll be showing some results very soon in December. Stay tuned.
That'll be interesting. She is gonna finally get girls.
I
Who
don't
would
want
have
to
thought?
stretch it that far, but
Who would have thought that just listening to Carlos's advice from 5 years ago would have just got you there?
yeah.
No, this is great. I've actually I love where you're at now, Paul. I
Me
think what
too.
this guy is telling you is basically like everything's okay. You know what I mean? Being healed, being not healed, being on the journey. Am I
Yeah,
thinking
it's just
on that correct?
yeah, he has this story about one of these students that he went to school with where this lady was miserable. She was very unhappy, very not at ease, just couldn't stand people, her coworkers, her fellow classmates, and then at the end of it, she said nothing's changed, but I have. I'm not like this person has not changed who they are. That person has not changed who they are. But I'm no longer miserable about it. And it's like I think that's really what it's about, at least to me, because I was just at such a state of
Can I ask you?
unease.
Can I
Yeah.
ask you a question? This is a question I've always had,
Hmm.
personally. So I don't. Why is it that people are so against being miserable?
I don't know. For me, it just didn't feel good. It's just
I mean, besides the obvious, because so like what I've seen in my life is that I no matter what I do, whether I try to heal or don't try to heal, whether I try to change my behavior or don't try to change my behavior, my life still takes me through these ebbs and flows of like happiness and misery.
right. I
So
think you were more evolved in that facet of life than I was, and it took me some time to kind of come to that understanding. I'm not saying that I don't get miserable anymore. I'm saying that I'm okay with it, whether I
yeah,
am
yeah,
miserable or not. Yeah.
okay, okay.
And it's funny because as soon as I let go of trying to not be miserable, I'm not miserable anymore. It's almost like wantedness and unwantedness are both forms of resistance. How
Let me
much
ask
you
you.
want something so much more than the present situation you're in, you create resistance towards it. And then
Shiva,
you don't want something to happen so much
that you
that
make
it
it
happen.
happen.
Yeah, and it's like they're
Yeah. So
both forms
Shiva,
of
you
resistance.
see what you're
Yeah.
hearing is a consensus, and I want to know now, Shiva, are you ever miserable? Let
uh,
me let's be let's make it this dramatic.
I can answer in a human way, and I can also answer in a spiritual way.
Oh
Spiritual way.
God,
No, I'm not.
Jesus.
I'm never miserable. That's a thing of the past. That's something that has been abolished by me. In a
Uh,
human way, something that Carlos will understand. Yes, I'm miserable every day, and my life sucks, and
but
I'm,
can you just answer
Spoken
like
like a true guru, to be honest.
can you just answer
Yeah.
honestly
Yeah.
without all the
Yeah.
spin?
no, I don't get miserable, but yes, I do. Also. I don't know how to answer these questions.
Dude, he legit sounds like Sadhguru.
So annoying. I just hope the listeners out there can just
What do you
see through
think,
the
Carlos? What do you
nonsense.
think?
I mean, just listening to Paul's answer, it just like felt like, just straight authenticity, no filter, just bam, landed. When I heard you, it just like it's like I'm over here like, when is this bird gonna land? Like, you know what I mean? Like, sounds
Okay.
like nonsense.
How about I copy and paste Paul's answer to mine? There you go.
Huh?
I think Paul's answer was succinct. He can be miserable, but it doesn't affect him, or it's just not there anymore like that. Same thing here.
Correct,
Okay, some human
exactly.
situation, but no, I don't get miserable in that way. But yeah, I get miserable, but I don't.
I think what you mean to say is that you're not against it, which is the same thing that Paul said, which is fine. And that's my point from the beginning. Is like that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Is that it's okay to be miserable. We lose stuff. We fail at things. We get older. Our parents pass away. Like there's stuff to be miserable about sometimes. It's okay.
That stuff doesn't make me miserable. The idea of that doesn't make me miserable anymore.
That's fine, and it could be different for everybody. But what I'm saying is that there's reasons to be miserable sometimes, and it's natural. And it's, Anyway, somebody somebody posted on mine. Don't let Shiva out alpha you, Carlos. Hit 20 spin arounds in your wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Hold
Mm-hmm.
20.
on. Shiva did it. I guess I'm gonna have to do it. Hold on.
We're witnessing history, my friends. Didn't even know Carlos can spin. One.
Oh, this is gonna take the whole podcast.
Yeah, this is
Oh, jeez.
do 1 or 3, and that'll be succinct.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is also very strenuous.
Yeah. Maybe he needs this. Maybe we should let him do all 20 then. He needs some physical exercise. Jeez Louise.
That's it.
Huh? Can you hear us, Los?
I think this is going to be
Can you
3.
hear us?
No, I don't think so.
Barely. Where am I at?
All right, 3. This is enough. This is enough. You proved your point.
3. I did like 6 already.
We should guess when he stops.
All right, 20. Very good.
Whatever. It's gonna take me forever. Anyway, shout out to me on that.
To be honest. Oh my gosh.
That's my whole setup here.
Someone says meat spin.
Oh God.
Someone said what?
Someone said meat spin.
Meat spin.
Helicopter?
Yikes.
Yeah. That's after hours.
Trust me, I can still do
Oh,
those. Stiffy gang.
All right, to be fair to Paul, also 20 carrots.
20 carrots?
You down in your mouth or 20 apples.
I can't eat right now. I can take 20 deep breaths.
Oh.
Classic. But yeah, so whew, that took the wind out of me. I'm going to dry fast now. To retain more stimulus.
I think that would be amazing. If you ever do want to go on a dry fast, please let me know. I think that would be amazing for you.
So Paul also, to my viewers, Paul is also on the semen retention journey, unlike Carlos, which I've been telling Carlos for my entire life to do this.
I'm on the semen retention journey too. I haven't busted in like a week almost.
Yeah.
I've had intercourse that entire time, but I've been refraining from busting. So
Well, let's hear Paul talk about semen retention. Paul, what do you think about this? Is it good, bad? Nothing really important.
I think it depends where you're at. I use it because I was an addict. So
thank you.
yeah, I was a really bad addict. So refraining from it, but I don't even refrain from it now. I'm just focusing on the root cause Because it's not about not having sex or not watching porn. There's something else going on there that's not allowing a man to retain his life force. So if he has a leakage problem like I did, but it's necessary. So
Yeah, it's where it comes from, right? Like if you're using it to fill a hole, then
yeah.
it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just are a healthy man that's got his stuff together, I mean,
Yeah.
situations are going to present themselves.
Yeah, because I will say this: I felt the most drained when that was going on. So
Yeah.
And Paul, what advice do you have for Carlos? What would you suggest that he do to get back towards his healing journey?
In regard what to walking again, to what specifically?
Let's just go through it all, or whatever advice you have.
Yeah. Well, first I'd ask him if he wanted it. I try do my best not to give unsolicited advice. So that would be the first, is to check in with him and see if that's a route he wants to take. But I'll just entertain it from the perspective of you asking me without him. If he wants to walk, I would definitely get off the meat. I would definitely start fasting. I think the more severe, the better, especially with his case. So I'd go straight. I'd first do a juice cleanse long enough to do some colon cleanses, do some enemas. You can have them be coffee enemas, some saltwater flushes, get him on some electrolytes, some minerals to prepare him for the dry fast, get his body in his best condition as he possibly can for the dry fast, because that's where the healing is going to take place.
How long do you want me to dry fast for?
It's so that's a great question. You don't it's based off the cleanliness of your body. So if you are dirty, you do not want to dry fast, because you can actually die, because your body is going to start feeding on what's inside of you, and if what's inside of you is just dead meat, I think that's a good recipe
Just give me
for a fatal.
just pretend I'm healthy.
Yeah.
How long do you want me to dry fast?
If you're healthy, I'd start off with a 2-day hard dry fast. So no water internally or externally.
Okay.
2 days, check in with that. And then I'd go to 4. And then we'd go to 7. And then after 7, we're going to go to 12. And then you're going to see a lot of healing from a 2-day, a 4-day. Yep.
Let me ask you this. So I'm going to do this next week after my treatment. Will I notice a difference after 2 days?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to do it next week.
It's going to be the worst when you start it. I mean, I had parasites that were just like screaming at me, and it was absolutely miserable. But if you can make it over that hump, you're gonna reach a new level of stillness. Not just mentally, fasting definitely has its spiritual benefits, but physically for sure.
How much harder is a dry fast than a water
This
fast?
this is the best question ever. It's the easiest out of juice fasting and water fasting.
Dry fasting is easier than
It's
both.
the easiest, 100%. It's 10 times easier, dude. It's 10 times easier.
Because I've done 21 days with water fast before.
That's tough. That's
harder.
That's something. 10 times harder. Yeah, you could do a 20-day dry fast, and it would be easier.
Why is it easier?
This is a good question that I don't know fully. But just from my personal experience, and then the research that I've done, is that you're completely starving the parasites. So when you're on juice, there's something still on the menu. When you're on water, there's something still on the menu.
They can survive. Yeah.
Right. When you're on a dry fast, there is nothing on the menu, and they are screaming at you, and you will feel it. But excuse me.
How long? That's another. So this is about parasites. I didn't realize. I didn't realize this was about.
Excuse me. Yeah, I've actually spoken with 2 health practitioners that actually contribute cancer, almost 100% to parasites. I don't necessarily agree with that, because again, I also don't disagree with it. I'm just not fully educated in that regard. But I would not be surprised.
I didn't know this had to do with parasites. This dry fasting. So let me ask you this. So I'm assuming you're going to tell me that after 2 days, I'm not going to be able to get rid of my parasites, right?
From what?
2 days.
No, no. I think because I'm speaking with Trevor about it. I think it's day 12. Where I
Oof.
think is where you, yeah, where you'll, and this is the crazy thing
So
about,
two
this is
days is
one thing I want to,
basically so 2 days is basically a waste of time then, because I'm gonna be
no,
just
no, because
annoying
no,
then, and then
actually to aid your argument, you will actually train, this is from Trevor, your parasites to sustain your dry fast now, because you're making them stronger. So every time you do a dry fast and you're not going as long as you need to go to kill them, you're actually making them stronger. But that's okay. That's okay, because you're learning how to go long enough. The body is not fasting is not something you don't go to the gym and just start bench pressing 350. That takes you years to get you have to respect the body in that same regard. You can literally kill yourself. I've never heard of people dying from juice fasting. I've heard of a couple from water fasting. Dry fasting, people die because they're not clean. They're not respecting the damage that they have done to their body. So it's like if you just put all of this shit inside of it, excuse me, sorry. If you put all of this garbage inside of it, when you are dry fasting, on a juice fast, you're getting rid of the garbage.
so
On
let
a
me get
dry fast, you're feeding on the garbage.
yeah,
So you want to be careful. Yeah.
so let me get this straight. So
Mm-hmm.
so basically, in order to actually get rid of the parasite, it's gonna be a 12-day thing, right?
I have to
Around
do more consultating with Trevor, but I believe so. Yeah, from his experience.
This is
so
not health advice, by the way. Consult your doctor
right.
if
Correct.
you're.
Not health advice.
This
Yep.
is all a lie. This is all a lie.
Mm-hmm.
This is for entertainment purposes.
Yeah. Thank you for
So
that, Shiva.
yeah, so and I have that scrolling underneath my thing at all times anyway. So um h- how long did you say it's going to take me to get to 12 days, if like by preparing my body and
It
everything?
Yeah. So for someone who has a 21-day water fast under your belt, how they do the calculations is 1 day of dry fasting is 3 days of water fasting. 1 day of dry fasting is 6 days of juice fasting. So right? Like if you a 30-day water fast is a 10-day dry fast. A 60-day juice fast is a 10-day dry fast. So it's like you can achieve so much more healing in a third, a sixth of the time if you just go into dry
No, no,
fasting.
no.
So
What I'm asking
no,
is
I know I was going to answer it. Yeah.
okay, go ahead.
Was it how long is it going to take you to get to 12?
Yeah, to be able to build up that
Yeah.
tolerance.
Yeah. So with someone with your pedigree who has a 21-day water fast under your belt, I would say a lot quicker. And you want to do 2 days, 4 days, because you want to check in with your body. You'll be able to
Hmm.
tell. So you might do 2 days and be like, oh, dude, I can do 7. And then skip the 4, do the 7, get to day 7 and be like, I feel fine. I'm going to go for 12. So it's, again, everyone's body's different. Just how, the journey to enlightenment, it's like you have to read your own map, your
Okay,
own
because
book within.
I
So
was
you have to
worried
check in
for a
with your own
second.
body.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
worried for a second that you were going to say it takes years. I was
No,
going to get
no, no, no,
highly
no.
upset.
If you're, if you approach it with a drive that's smart, not a drive where you can kill yourself because you're just so like, oh my God, I'm going to do 12 and you're not listening to your body and you die like an idiot.
Real quick,
No.
Shiva, can you use your thing and look up how long a human can survive without water?
So Trevor has done 21 days.
Let me just real quick see what comes up with.
You're not going to find a ton of information about this.
A person can usually survive without water for about 3 days, but can depend very on several factors.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Fall.
Let me look up the longest person that survived.
Oh, fall. Ugh.
You're not even going to find Trevor's.
You're trying to unalive me here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We're talking about
drink
3
water,
days
by the way,
versus
everybody.
you're
Yeah,
talking
drink water. Don't do a 3-day dry fast.
Don't do it.
This is not medical advice.
So Andreas Mekovets, an 18-year-old Australian bricklayer, is thought to have survived the longest without water after being accidentally left in a police cell for 18 days in 1979. However, the record is not exactly clear because Mikovets said he has licked condensation off the walls of the prison.
No.
So
No.
18 days, maybe.
Yeah, and then if you think about it, or no, that's not an accurate example. I was going to say people lost at sea for 30 days, 60 days. If they're eating fish, the fish has water inside of it, so they're not technically drinking the water, but they are consuming some some liquid, I'm assuming. So.
Yeah, especially if it rains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is because I just want to go. Like I'm the type of person I'll just go straight for the 12 and see what's popping.
Yeah, that's going to be. You're going to. So a book that I just bought today is the Phoenix Protocol, and this book is specifically about dry fasting, and it talks about stem cell being released into your body on day 7. So, and I knew you were getting treatment for that when you were inside the hospital for your condition. So
Yeah, it was
you can
a
literally generate your own.
patch I was wearing, but
Yeah.
so because they told me the same thing that you said when I looked up the information about water fasting. It was basically the same advice that you said. You have to prepare for it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to also when you get off of it, there's a certain protocol for getting off of
Correct.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I ignored both of those.
Yeah.
I just went in and just did it. I didn't
Yeah.
prepare at all. And then when I got off of it, I just like they said you have to like start eating like jello and like soups and stuff like that. I just went I bought a hamburger and a pizza, and I
Yeah.
put the pizza inside the hamburger, and then I ate them both
Yep.
at the same time.
That's how you can die on a dry fast. 100%.
Yeah,
That's going to kill you. Yeah.
that's what they told me about the water fast as well, but nothing
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Again,
But again, nobody do that. Nobody.
don't fast unless with a doctor. Okay, go see a doctor.
Consult your medical professional first. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience fasting, Carlos? Someone was asking about water fasting.
Yeah, I just told you I did 21 days.
Oh.
21 days water fast one time.
Oh, my mistake.
Complete just water. No food, no juices, nothing. Just
Wow.
water 21 days.
That's impressive.
Savagery. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Very. Yeah.
Yeah. Finally broke out of it because my mom came to visit me one day after I told her I was doing it. She came freaked out, and I told my friend specifically not to open the door. I had a roommate at the time because I didn't want her to see how skinny I got.
Looked like a Holocaust survivor. Yeah.
Yeah. And so and he opened the door, and then so like I went up. I went to go get up like really quickly, like quicker than I normally would have because I was obviously
Passed
exhausted,
out.
and I collapsed. Fell on the floor. And then when I woke up, the ambulance was there, and
Yeah.
they checked all my vitals and stuff, and they told on and said, "Hey, he's fine. All his vital signs are still good." I mean,
Amazing.
and
Wait, and you broke the water fast by eating pizza and hamburger?
yeah, like first I did what they said. Like they were like, "Oh, like eat watermelon or something like that." So I had a piece of watermelon, and I was like, "This is stupid." And then like literally left the supermarket and went to a bar and had fat a fat Swiss mushroom like cheeseburger with
That
pizza.
sounds so good. This is one thing I want to mention about dry fasting is that it will actually kill your appetite for certain foods like that. Because if it's parasite driven and you kill the parasites, you actually will not want those foods anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one thing I've noticed since I've had this situation is that I don't care so much about my cravings anymore. I eat like mainly vegetables with a little bit of fish, like, but I don't crave like pizza and donuts and soda
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that other stuff that I
Yeah.
used to as much as I don't like at all. I don't even care.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're gonna want fat on you. So if you don't have a whole lot of fat on you, because that's what it's consuming. That's where the body is creating its own water from your fat cells. So if you want to go longer to get more of this healing, you want to pack on some fat before you go. But you want it to be healthy fat. You don't want to be eating pizza and stuff because then your body's going to be consuming that. So you could literally just carb overload because you're not super active, I'm assuming. And then the amount of carbs that you're surplus in, they'll just go into fat. So that way you have healthy fat stores to pull from. So you can literally from if you're eating from fruit, you just eat way too many carbs and you're not actively burning these calories, you'll start putting on some weight. So, and then you can use that weight during a dry fast. So,
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready to go because honestly, like all I do eat now is like for breakfast I have a big bowl of fruit, and then for dinner I have like a large plate of vegetables with a little bit of fish. That's all I
join
eat.
me. I'm on one right now.
Yeah,
I'm on one right now. Join me.
That's all I do. So I'm just gonna,
Mhm.
like I said, I got my treatment this week, so I'm not gonna do it this week because the treatment is
Okay.
kind of intense. But after that, I'll just do it, see how long I can go.
Savage.
My mom's gonna freak out, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, she's gonna freak out when you start standing up and walking.
My
That's
thing is though, like what I don't understand is that like you're saying I will still feel better even though the parasites will still be in there after 2 days, 3 days, 4 days.
100%, because it's not just about the parasites being killed.
Okay.
It's the body is going through it's a janitorial service. The trash guys are now driving through your body.
Yeah, probably like
And
3 or
every
4
time you
days.
eat, you put these janitorial services at a halt. They are no longer operating. So as soon as you stop eating, that's when they start running again. So it's and they're going to run the fastest and the furthest on a dry fast compared to the next level will be water, then the next level will be juice. So
I'm gonna lose any muscle mass that I've tried to put on the last couple weeks though, right? I'm assuming.
Depending on how long you go.
Mm.
But then the beautiful thing about it is that you'll be able to, when you're clean, you can gain muscle easily. I know someone who did a 40-day water fast and they were able to gain muscle easier after because you're clean. So
Okay.
clean.
I think this is great that you're actually considering this, like seriously considering it. I think this is absolutely phenomenal.
I love trying extreme things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. I want to do a 20-day one day. I really want to build my way up to that.
21-day dry fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I don't even want to say that because when I first started juice fasting, I didn't like publicly saying how long I was going to go. I kind of like keeping that to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely what I want to do with the dry fasting. The 2-day dry fast I saw, like it changed my life. Like I was like, what the heck? I was on herbs. I was on over like $1,500 worth of herbs. I had like a $400 consultation. I did that twice.
And this was
So
better.
over $3,000 in herb. Yeah, dude. Yeah. 2 days, no food, no water, no brushing my teeth, no washing my hands, no showering, hard dry fast. And my kidneys started filtering.
Showering.
No showering. Yep. You can do a soft dry fast. You can do a soft. So soft is
counts.
no. You can do a soft dry fast where there is water contact externally. So you can wash your hands, shower, go to the beach. That's a soft dry fast. I want it as strict as humanly possible. I want the most amount of healing. So, yeah.
Paul,
Okay.
do you eat meat? If not, tell us why.
I don't. It's very rare if I do. I'll maybe twice, 3, 4 times a year, if that. And it's usually on a big pile of greens. But I don't. I've just seen that the body can, at least mine, can start prematurely aging. My like fatigue symptoms, like just how Michaela says, her antidote, and how veganism didn't work for her. I'm kind of the inverse. So I tried the meat and I was fatigued and bloated and not feeling good. I actually don't do it for the ethics. I never really, and maybe I'm just not there yet. I just never understood that argument.
How do you feel about the ethics?
I personally, if I find evidence that states that our species-specific diet is carnivore, I'm making the switch because I want to do what's best for my body. So now I will say this: ever since going plant-based, I've become a lot more sensitive to animals for sure.
Have you ever tried full-on carnivore?
No, not full on. Where I just like I've done paleo. I've done
How was paleo for you?
This was decades. I think I did paleo with OMAD, and that took me weeks to get used to. Like I was crashing a lot. I tried a ton of diets. I don't even remember paleo. Obviously vegan.
But I'm saying, how did you? So I had pretty amazing results on paleo.
Mm-hmm.
I went on it because I went to the doctor to get a checkup and they checked my cholesterol, and the doctor said
Yeah.
that he was surprised I hadn't had a heart attack at that point.
Wow.
The amount of
I never
cholesterol.
did doctor checkups. I was going off of personal feeling. What did I feel best on? And I was very athletic at that time, and plant-based was the clear winner for recovery.
And
For
then, so
recovery. Yeah.
he tried to put me on medication. I told him to give me a little bit of time to experiment with my diet, and I
Mm-hmm.
just so happened to catch this documentary that explained that if you just ate cholesterol foods like eggs, bacon, meat, things like
Mm-hmm.
that, cholesterol has no reason to get stuck in your body because it's obviously it's oil essentially. It's greasy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it should
Mm-hmm.
just flow through you. And so what they explain in the documentary is that the only reason they ever gets stuck is because when you mix it with things like starches.
I've heard this a ton, and not
Yeah,
just with paleo. I've heard this a ton with other different diets.
yeah. So when you mix it with
Yeah.
things like bread or rice or potatoes, things that have starch, because like if you've ever cooked rice, like rice will even stick to metal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And this is I think this is a really good point to highlight in this podcast, just for like nutritional information. Again, not to follow it
We're
or
not
not to follow it.
right.
Yeah, we're not saying that. Just a
Relying here.
point that I noticed is that that's even with plant-based. Like, this is very much talked about when you follow the right influencers, that you don't want to mix even carb. Yeah, you don't, like, if you're going to eat apples, just have a mono meal of apples. Don't have apples and pears and cucumbers and greens, and you're messing up the flow of digestion. So I think that's a point that's missed in a lot of
Oh, you're making an
diets.
argument for mono. I see. The
From
argument
yeah,
the argument they're making in this documentary was that
or just the order,
well
Like, if you're gonna have a smoothie and a salad, have the smoothie first because it's gonna digest. Then have the
no,
salad. If you
I
have the
guess
salad first and then the smoothie's gonna want to go quicker than the salad. But
what I'm
now
saying
it can't.
yeah
So
what I'm saying
so
about
it doesn't
the
have to be mono. Yeah.
no what I'm saying is the so the paleo documentary's point was that paleo meaning like caveman diet, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
what they were saying is that we didn't evolve eating anything that comes from agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
all the plants and vegetables that come from agriculture, like farming,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that is just like a recent thing that's like doesn't go further back than like 7,000 years or
Yeah.
something like that.
I,
So we
I'd
didn't
agree with
evolve from
that.
that. And so
Mm-hmm.
they just you only allowed to eat certain fruits and vegetables and certain
Correct.
and then meat.
I agree with this
Um
point wholeheartedly. The
and
agricultural
like
revolution has
mhm,
allowed humans to consume plants that we are not designed to eat.
everyone decided to
Yeah.
eat, yeah. And
Yeah.
then so when I went back to the doctor 3 months later, my doctor was like shocked because all my cholesterol levels were normal at that point. All
Yeah.
the good ones went up, the bad ones went down, everything was
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What was your diet?" And I told him I ate bacon, eggs, and fried chicken every day. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"What?"
Yeah.
He couldn't believe it. And I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually what I did." And,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of the ethics, I've just never that's never been the reason for why I became plant-based. I looked at it as like, okay, this is my anatomy. This is
yeah.
what my anatomy supports, is this food. So this is what I am designed to eat. Because again, if new information comes out that I'm designed to eat meat, I will happily make that switch. So
Shiva, tell us how the animals feel about that.
Yeah, when I hear these types of talks, it makes me sad because, again, it doesn't take much. You just go visit slaughterhouse or you watch a video of animals getting slaughtered. It's very easy. They also want to
those are
live.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
pain just like you and I. They want to protect their children. They want to live a good, healthy life. You see a cow that's being released, that's saved. It's so happy. It's jumping. It's more intelligent than a dog, way more intelligent than a dog. So you saying, Carlos, you eating bacon, eggs, and things is like a lot of animals had to be scream and had their throats slit for that to happen every single day. If you were saying, "Oh, I eat bagels every day," I mean, there's no victims about that. You can eat whatever you want. You can even eat rocks. Well, it's bad for you, but regardless, doesn't have any victims except you. But this involves lots of victims, and I think slowly human beings are awakening to that fact. So me eating a vegan diet is not primarily ethics, primarily a spirituality. I've understood fundamentally. If I want to progress spiritually, there's just no chance for me to eat animals again. Does it mean that it doesn't taste good? It tastes fantastic. You were explaining that you went to the store and you bought a hamburger with mushrooms. And oh my God, that sounds so juicy. And then I'm like a little bit sad. Oh, maybe but you can still get that in a vegan version. You just, just plant-based burger. So animals still taste good. It's just also, it's unspiritual, it's unethical, and also unhealthy. Now it's very clear to see.
So Paul,
So
the argument that I have against, so when I hear what he says, right, I
Hmm.
resonate with it. It is sad, right? Obviously, to think of like,
I don't look at it that way. Yeah.
no, I get that part, but what I'm saying is like, and shout out to Lakshmi in the chat, by the way. Um, but I do get where he's coming from, right? Like
Yeah.
you're dealing with a sentient being. It has a family, has life of its own. It wants to protect its life, and it also feels
Hmm.
fear and pain and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And it's happening, right? And it's obviously sad. And my argument to him though is that I too experience those emotions, and whether I like it or not, will eventually have to face that same pain and fear and ultimate death.
If you get eaten
So
by an animal, yeah. If you just
no,
die naturally, no.
no. Like I mean, even if you go naturally, because the body deteriorates slowly. It doesn't just like you don't just disappear one day.
I think that's completely different. I think being slaughtered by an animal in real time while you're still alive is a lot different than dying naturally.
Well,
I think the
so
chemicals produced, the process, it's. I think that's
yeah, well, you're making
yeah.
it sound like you make it sound like I eat like a lion. I'm not a lion, right? Like normally when you're talking about a slaughterhouse, you're talking about like the animals get put in a line and then like they get walked up to the guy who's doing the slaughtering and he just in one fell swoop just ends
Hmm.
them. So it's kind of like
You're
a quick process. What I'm talking about is I'm not talking about like eating an animal alive. I'm talking about
uh-huh.
like so. But in the case of a human being,
That's a lot different than dying naturally, though. A cow
no, no,
dying on an animal sanctuary, and then a cow dying in a slaughterhouse. Those are very two different deaths.
no. But what I'm saying is this. So like, okay, this is where I need you to like slow down for a second and hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
For example, I think about my grandmother. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so my grandmother's getting old. She's like in her 90s. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I ask her, how does she feel every day? She basically says that her body's in constant pain for
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
right? It's hard for her to walk. I mean, even look at me right now. I'm in constant pain,
Yeah.
and as I get older, it's only going to get worse, right? And
I want to
so,
interrupt. I want to interrupt. I don't think that's normal. By the way, I don't think the general population of the United States and how miserable they are in their later years, that is not normal. That is a product of the
you
choices they
don't,
have made.
so you don't think aging is normal?
I don't think aging to the degree that our population is aging today is normal whatsoever.
No,
Absolutely
no,
not.
I'm
I
not
think
talking
you should
about
be
that.
80, 90 years old and you should be walking around and enjoying your body.
That's
I don't think
fine.
you should be slam dunking and doing backflips, but in terms of like being in a
No,
wheelchair and like
yeah,
withering away, I
no,
think that is a
no.
100%
I'm not saying that.
byproduct of the
I
truth.
don't care.
Okay.
I don't care if you get to live to 150 and feel uncomfortable.
I thought the point you
That's
were making was the quality of life in the later years
right. So
should
what I'm saying,
justify them wanting to die. But I
no,
disagree
no,
with the root cause. Okay, go ahead.
no. So what I'm saying is that eventually we're all going to end up being not alive, right? Eventually,
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like a flip of a switch. It happens slowly. Like your body just
Okay.
doesn't just shut off one day, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a process of your body breaking down, your organs failing, your right.
Again, I don't believe in that philosophy.
So you think there's a process? You think somebody would just calmly and
Pass
peacefully pass away?
gracefully, 100%. Yeah,
No,
yeah. Well, that's where we differ.
I've seen it happen.
it can happen, but I don't think a majority of the people are going to experience that at all.
Right, because the majority of people are making the mistakes that they're making. That's why they're the majority.
That's their fault.
So 100%. Yeah.
So now you guys I don't know. I feel like this is a fantasy land. We just entered the Twilight Zone or something.
Not
Like,
not fantasy land. It can seem like a fantasy land between the contrast of where the population is now and where they have to go to get there. that the distance between those two things can make it seem like Fantasyland, but it's simple. It's not, it's not this unachievable goal.
Like, did you watch? I think you said you watched the Joe Rogan podcast with Sadhguru, right?
Yeah, phenomenal podcast, by the way.
Okay,
Yeah,
did he not look like he was suffering to you?
Sadhguru?
Yeah,
In what way? No, what?
he looked like he was tired and he looked almost like he was in pain.
I think he did talk about the stress of running an organization that has like 11 million volunteers and how stressful that can be. So I don't know if that would be contributing to that, but did I get an indication that his health is suffering? Not at all.
That's so
Yeah.
weird. I mean, that's like the only thing I got out of it basically the entire
Oh
time.
no,
I was actually upset because of the way that Joe Rogan was taking it so like I felt like Joe Rogan was kind of taking a piss at him the entire time, and meanwhile he was trying to deliver a serious message, and he just looked like he was like, to me it looked like I could just see the suffering in his eyes.
Wow. Yeah, we interpreted that podcast completely differently. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Sadhguru said multiple times that he has an organization with 11 million volunteers, but it doesn't bother him an inch. So people ask him, "Are you stressed out? Are you suffering?" No, I have 11 million volunteers. No one is trained for the job, but I'm always joyful. It doesn't matter to me. He also said it's worth mentioning that before maybe 2, 3, 4 decades ago, his eyes were like piercing intensity. He said he could go to a place and nobody could ignore his eyes. But now his eyes are like tired and overworked. So maybe that's what you're picking up on.
Another thing that Sadhguru does do is that he will.
No, like
he even talks about this in his.
he seemed short of breath. He seemed tired. He actually seemed exhausted, and he seemed like he might have been in pain. That's how I looked at it.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I
And
didn't
like,
get that from it.
which is what I would expect of somebody who was slowly passing away. And I mean, even Shiva's made the comment before that just from looking at him, you can tell he's not going to be here much longer.
I don't see that at all. What's his biological age?
25?
No, I knew you were gonna say that.
It is.
Yeah.
They did tests on him and they said his biological age is 25 years old.
What's his age based
Oh,
off of the construct of time and
Like literally had an
67 or 8?
aneurysm like last week, but he's 25.
67 or 60? Yeah, I think
Something like that.
I think he's got 20 more years.
Yeah.
I don't think he's passing anytime soon. Naturally, if he gets into a car accident and dies, that's a different story. But if the universe allows the natural way to come, I think he's got 20 more years on him for sure.
Or Mahasamadhi. He consciously goes
Right.
through meditation.
People in the chat are saying, we love the double stream. So shout out to us for that. Thank you for that, Awesome. Yeah, I don't know what the heck you guys were watching. I just felt bad for the guy the entire time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
he felt that. Maybe you consecrated that energy.
it gave me the impression of where did you get T-Blue Tyler Durden?
Oh my God! Please tell me they're talking about me.
They are.
Oh my God, dude! I love that. That's the greatest compliment ever. Thank you.
Actually,
You know how you can gift us money? How do I gift that guy money? Give me his username. I'm sending that guy $5, and then I'll pay him 10 if he says that again on the next stream. Oh my God!
Post your PayPal as him. He's gonna send you.
Oh yeah, please.
No, I'm sorry, your Cash App.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how you guys didn't pick up on that. To be honest with you, like I literally, it gave me the impression of like what I would, I was a big time Christian for a long time, and it gave me the feeling of like what Jesus might have been like when Jesus' last words while he was on the cross, like when he was saying like, "Please forgive them, for they know not what they do." Like that's what I felt Sadhguru was like almost feeling when he was speaking.
Wow.
Like he was suffering and he was using his very last bit of energy to just get a message across about saving the soil.
Interesting.
While said guru was like, I mean, while Joe Rogan was like laughing and making jokes and stuff like that, it kind of pissed me off actually. I wanted to like
Hmm.
jump over to the screen and punch Joe Rogan in the face.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I didn't get that either.
I can actually start seeing that why you would see that Carlos Sadhguru is like that, old in age, and it is his last kind of effort to do this, and people thought that he couldn't do it, but he traveled.
I would ask Paul if you could just watch it. Can you watch it one more time, like even just a short
I'd
clip of
love
it,
to. I'd love to. Yeah.
and then just give me your opinion later?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll do the same. Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a podcast I would not mind watching again. That was probably one of my favorite Joe Rogan podcasts.
Azam responded to you, Paul. He says, "I
Mhm.
am for hire. I will come up to you and say this while you're flirting with a girl."
Oh my god, I love this guy. Oh my god, that's amazing. Is he here in the States?
I'm not sure
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
Don't actually try to make this happen, though, please.
Yeah, I won't.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just, my like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's because you guys are young. I've seen so many people get old and
Hmm.
pass away, and it just never looks fun. Like my grandfather just recently passed.
Yeah.
He was in his bed, and I mean, he looked like a mummy.
Hmm.
He looked
Yeah,
horrible.
I don't think that's the way humans are supposed to go. I think that's a product of their environment and the choices they've made dietarily and whatnot, for sure. Yeah.
Sadhguru is awesome. Healing is good. Carlos needs to heal.
He's going on a dry fast.
Yeah, Carlos is gonna do that.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna try anything for 10 years. I'll tell you that. Damn sure. I'll try something for a little bit of time and see if I feel any different. But I'll give it about a week. I don't feel nothing. It's over with. Back
You're
to
gonna
the.
do a week-long dry fast?
No, I'm saying I'll do it as far as drive has. I'm gonna try to do it as long as I can. But
Dude, if you do a week, there's no way you won't feel a difference. Holy mackerel. That'd be insane.
I'm gonna try it as long as I can, I guess. But
Yeah.
uh,
I
no,
highly
what I'm saying,
recommend getting the Phoenix protocol and prepping before you just jump right into it. I highly recommend that.
I don't think I'll ever be able to eat more healthy than I already am. That's the
Okay.
problem right now. So.
Well, it's not also about that. It's about saltwater flushing, getting your mineral content up so that you can go through the dry fast properly and not experience such negative symptoms. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
See, I'll listen to my body. If I feel pretty
There you
crappy,
go.
I'll
Good.
just stop it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, anyway, getting back to the topic of healing. So yeah, Shiva, I think you wasted 10 years trying to heal, still haven't healed. Paul, I think you also wasted 10 years trying to heal, still haven't healed.
I think I'm on 11 or 12. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think just stop, just accept your
Okay.
life.
All right.
Um, of
Thank you.
course, we try our best, but like don't make it a
Yeah.
big deal.
Right.
Like Shiva makes it his whole life. It's kind of
Hmm.
live a little, have some fun, eat a pizza here and there. Like you're still gonna pass away, dude. Like have some cheese, eat a burger.
That's actually my favorite food, pizza. It
Yeah.
destroys me though. It absolutely destroys me. Yeah.
Azim wants to know, can the vegan diet heal a broken heart?
Yes, if you stop causing the pain and suffering of other animals and you stop eating their fleshy victim bodies, it'll definitely heal your heart much faster. You just don't do bad things to life.
There's
Stop
another
breaking the
thing,
cow's heart and your heart will heal.
right? I'll tell
Just
you what.
move on.
I'll tell you. I hope you guys all
Oh my
caught that
god.
one.
Yeah.
Adam, so
Yeah.
I'll tell you from my own personal experience, what can heal a broken heart is getting your heart broken more and more and more and more times. You'll
Hmm.
it'll eventually just lose its effect. You just be like, yeah, what? Okay, what else you got?
Wow.
That sounds like great advice.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
works.
Well, if it works, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, veganism. Um, oh, I lost the video. Veganism, healing, fasting, God, Carlos, push-ups. I don't really know where else to go. Uh, it's
Like I'm all about hard work. I'm all about just more pain, more hard work, more suffering. That's what I'm about. Like
Yeah.
even on this disease that I'm on, supposedly I'm not supposed to work out. I work out every day.
The Sadhguru actually says that's a way to enlightenment, by the way, where
What?
you can look at everything as sacred, or you can look at everything with such great disdain. There's actually like yogis that do that. They
Hmm.
look at life the way you look at life, where you're just like, screw this, like this sucks. and he talks about them achieving
I mean,
that.
because I've
So,
tried both ways. Like
mm-hmm,
I've tried being a good boy
mm-hmm.
that does
I think it
everything
works for
right.
you. I really do think it works for you.
What?
The way you
The
look at life.
disdain? Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
telling you, like I've gotten the most results from just being the meanest, rudest,
Mm-hmm.
rashest, like suffer, like
It's working for you,
putting
just
myself
like
in
the
the most
carnivore diet with Michaela. Yeah.
yeah, like it's always been nothing has worked as fast as that. And I
Mm-hmm.
like every time I've tried to do it the other way, it just seems like
Yeah.
I just end up hating my life and bored and then like nothing happens.
He says that's where the suffering comes from, is when you identify something as sacred, but then you also identify something as disdain. And he says this back and forth creates that. He's like, look at all of life with absolute sacredness or all of life with absolute disdain. Don't mix it. Just like with the diets. Don't do the carbs and the fats and the proteins all together. So when you start mixing it, the problems start to arise.
And that's exactly where I'm
So,
at. Like I look at life with
mhm,
disdain. Like I'm like,
mhm.
bro, we're all gonna, you know what I mean? We're
Yeah,
all gonna pass.
the yin to our
Life
yang.
sucks.
Yeah, yeah. You're necessary.
I want to watch a reality TV show with all three of you trapped in an empty room for 100 days together. You will be provided food and water.
Mr. Beast, hit us up.
I would love to do that. Oh my God, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want more suffering for you, Shiva. Honestly, like I want you to suffer more because it's just it's like you know how they say like there's two sides to every coin, right? So like whenever you put yourself in intense suffering, like you usually in a lot of cases you end up getting like you reap rewards from that as well. Like if you're doing the right kind of suffering, you get what I'm saying? And
I disagree with that.
I
I
just
don't
feel like,
think. I don't think suffer. I think suffering is. I don't think there's anything positive to suffering. I'm not a big fan of the Stoics.
but
The
you do it.
Stoics really, they really
You
fantasize
yeah,
suffering,
but
and
you,
I think it's
you
nonsense.
yeah, but you just said that you went through a 2 day fast and it was hell.
No, there's a difference between
Oh God, here we go.
symptomatical like pain and then suffering. Suffering is the stories that
Jesus
you
Christ,
identify with that are not true about you, and like pain. I made a great post about this, where
bro.
pain
Suffering is suffering,
is
bro. Come on.
no. Pain is if you punched me in the face and then I felt physical symptoms. The suffering are the stories that I now believe to be true about myself moving forward.
That's
Suffering is
not true.
always
That's
that is
absolutely
true.
Shiva,
That is true.
Shiva,
Suffering is
Shiva,
self-inflicted. Suffering is self-inflicted. You can
Shiva.
have Nelson Mandela locked away in a prison who is in like a meditative state
Shiva.
and his state does not change at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
He did not
Sounds good.
suffer. You
Sounds good, Shiva.
do not go Viktor
Shiva.
Frankl. You no. Hold on.
Shiva.
You
Shiva.
have
Put
hold on.
Shiva.
Hold
Put
on.
suffering in the
No.
dictionary.
Los.
Type in suffering
Los.
in the thing that you typed in last
Los.
lesson. Type it in.
Los. Los. You can have Jews in the Holocaust who didn't suffer. What was his name? Victor Frankl? Victor Hugo?
You're lying about that though, because that's not
No,
what
he literally
I read the
wrote a
book.
book
I
about
read the book,
what
and what he
what
said
was
is
the
that
book?
you have it says he said as long as you find meaning in the suffering, then
Yeah, that's to
that's what helps you
okay.
that's what helps you get through it. But he didn't
Right,
say that there was no
but
suffering.
that's just that's a positive twist on suffering. Because he literally says the moment between what was it? What did he said the moment between
Shiva, what's the
stimulation.
definition of suffering?
This is
The moment between go ahead.
Hold on,
yeah.
go ahead, Shiva.
This is I don't like this because it's made by normies, so this is not good.
Made by
Because I'm
normies.
right, because we're speaking English.
Suffering,
Okay,
dictionary definition by Oxford, is the state of undergoing pain, distress, or hardship. That's false and wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't look at suffering that way. I don't look at suffering that way at all. I'm gonna redefine what suffering means and share that definition with you guys.
Wait, I have a better.
Pain. Go ahead.
There's a more expansive definition. Suffering or pain in a broad sense may be an experience of unpleasantness or aversion, possibly associated with the perception of harm or threat or harm to an individual. So I think the key word here is unpleasantness or aversion. Yes, aversion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm so glad you found another definition that suits your
Thank
needs.
you very much.
Yeah. No one's ever hurt me more than I've hurt myself. That's suffering. If you punch me and hit me, that's pain.
Yeah, I know.
The things that I believe to be true about myself and I identify with, that's suffering.
Unfortunately, we're not speaking Paul to each other. We're speaking English.
Yeah.
In
Well,
English,
it's just
the
my
word
interpretation.
That's
It's just my interpretation.
I
Yeah.
can't speak to your interpretations though. I have to speak English.
That's what we're doing right now.
In English, the word suffering has a specific meaning, and pain is one of them. So when you said you were going through hell,
Yeah.
that was a dry fast. That's suffering.
That's not suffering. That's not.
And to you,
no, that's not suffering.
To you, it's not. To you, it's not.
Correct.
But to the actual vocabulary, it is.
No, because the actuality is that that's made up as well.
Suffering and pain are two different things. They're not the same.
They are 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Suffering is something you do to yourself. Pain is something that happens to everybody.
Shout out to Oxford Dictionary, by the way.
Shout out to nobody because they don't know what they're talking about. They're not spiritual like us.
He said shout out to Oxford Dictionary. Oh my God, Carlos. You're hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody suffer out there. It's something that you cause to yourself. Don't do that.
100%.
Azim said he's called Sad Guru, not Happy Guru.
What? Oh my God.
Someone says in my comment, Buddha said, clinging is the cause of suffering, but suffering teaches the mind not how to let go of clinging.
That's good. Clinging is the cause of suffering. 100%. What was that again? What was the second half?
See, the thing that you guys are talking about is you're talking about unnecessary, sustained, prolonged suffering. That's what you're talking about.
The thing with suffering is any moment of suffering is unnecessary and prolonged.
Not true.
That's 100% true. Whether it's a moment or whether it's 10 years, it's all unnecessary.
If I was to pinch you for long enough, you would feel suffering.
No, that's pain.
According to the definition of the word, the definition of the word includes pain.
You can choose to feel suffering if you pinch yourself or someone pinches you for a long time, but you don't necessarily have to. But pain is you can't choose pain or not. It'll happen.
Correct.
You guys are so weird.
What's the definition of that then?
Of what?
If suffering is something that's not caused by you, what's caused by you?
Yeah, what you guys are describing is
what are we describing?
What you guys are describing is simply the resistance of what is. That causes additional suffering. But that's not...
How is that additional suffering if suffering is not... How does that... What?
So there's suffering, right? That can be caused by whatever circumstance, whether it be pain or whatever, emotional.
So how does the definition of it just now change because you added the word additional in front of it?
Well, because what you guys are describing is not just simply suffering. You're referring to the fact of whether or not you accept the pain or not. That not accepting it, of course, is going to increase the amount of suffering. But accepting that, even if you accept it, it's still, you can still experience suffering.
You can what? How do you
Yeah.
accept or not accept pain?
Because you can say, okay, this is like, I'm doing it right now. I'm in pain 24/7. When I first started feeling it, it was annoying as hell. Like, it would just like annoy me to no end. Now I just don't even
Mhm.
care. I've accepted it, but I still feel it. It's annoying. It's still suffering.
Yeah, that's called pain, not suffering.
Yeah.
In the definition of the word suffering, it says
So what's
pain,
the definition that we're speaking of then?
the actual word
Okay,
English.
pain is a distressing feeling often caused by intense or damaging stimuli.
No. Go to the word suffering, and it says pain.
I'm gonna
I
Google
have
the spiritual
6% on my
definition.
phone.
Spiritual definition of suffering. Let me see.
Spiritual definition.
We need that, like Urban Dictionary, like slang, but for like spiritualism. That'd be tight.
Bro, please speak English for the people.
It's when someone's needs are unfulfilled. That's what suffering is.
Mm.
I guess you have a desire, it's not fulfilled. You want your pain to stop in your leg, it's not happening. For you, suffering is gonna persist.
See, so then you need to add that caveat every time you speak. You just talk about, I'm talking about spiritual suffering. Then your statements would make more sense.
Okay, there we go. I like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Carlos.
Very good. That's good.
Yeah.
I have 6% left on my phone, by the way.
Oh, I win as usual. Thank you for that.
No.
Shout out to Oxford again. I mean, it's like I can't stop the W's just keep raining in.
Oh my gosh.
I speak.
Hmm.
It's like suffering nothing to do with pain. And look up the word suffering. Pain.
Let's see how the Buddha defines suffering.
I
Mm.
don't care about how the Buddha defines suffering.
I do.
I do. Mhm.
We're talking about English. We're not talking about Buddha.
Yeah,
We're
Buddha is way more important than English. Okay, in Buddhism, the term suffering is a concept called dukkha that can be translated as uneasy, uncomfortable, or painful.
There it is.
The
There it
Buddha
is.
taught that dukkha is a natural part of life that comes from many sources, including birth, aging, illness, death, separation from loved ones, not getting what one desires.
Stop. Please read that again slowly. Please read that again slowly. Suffering is what according to Buddha?
Let me see the source of this.
Shut the hell up. Read it again. Shut up and read it
No,
again.
I need to find access to insight.
Oh my God, you're such a hater, dude.
It's way better.
It gave me the W again. Even the Buddha. Even the Buddha said that suffering is just feeling uneasy.
Mm-hmm.
That's pain.
No, I think the way I look at it is suffering is self-inflicted
Shiva,
unease.
Shiva, read it again, please.
Okay.
Shiva,
Wait.
Yeah, that's
I'm so glad.
All right, I found it.
I'm so glad this is recorded. I'm gonna clip that and I'm gonna replay
The
it over
Buddha. The Buddha said this to the monks. Okay, a quote: "Monks, there are 3 kinds of suffering. What 3? Suffering caused by pain, suffering caused by the formations or conditioned existence, and suffering due to change. It is for all the full comprehension, clear understanding, ending, and abandonment of these 3 forms of suffering that the noble, enlightened, whatever."
So again, literally suffering number 1 is caused by pain. I win again.
No,
It's like you can't get around it. You can't get around it.
That's my distinction. That's how I distinguish the two. Is pain is unease that is not caused by you. Suffering is unease that is caused by you. That's how I look at those 2 words. That's Paul. That's Buddha.
let me see.
What the heck? Somebody just gifted me 5 Scary Hours podcast memberships.
Oh,
Dang, let's
I
go.
don't even know what that means.
Mhm.
But yo,
5 people
Right
can
now, you are
join.
experiencing the opposite of suffering, Carlos.
shout out to you, Adam. He gifted it to he gifted them to some people. He gifted it to M. Araya. He gifted it to Corim Davis, to Lucifer Ops, to Shaman Askew, and to Krish. I
Shout out
don't
to
even know
Krish.
what you just did because that was the first time that that's ever happened. But
Yeah, what is that? When you give
5
subs.
up to you.
I'll explain.
Explain,
So
please.
Carlos has a join function in his YouTube channel, which is exclusive videos and whatever other perks Carlos wants to add. and someone just donated 5 people to join for free. So he gave you 5 gifted subscribers.
Oh,
Shout
that's
out to him.
awesome, dude.
That's
Yeah, shout out to him.
So is that Shiva? Is that where the memberships come in? Where I put, because I have a membership where if they subscribe to my monthly membership, they get to come into my Discord and ask me to create a video on whatever topic they choose.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so that's probably it. Okay, cool. So yeah, so Osram, M. Araya, Karim Davis, Lucifer Ops, Shaman Askew, and Krish. Whenever you want, join my Discord and let me know what topics you guys want for the month, and we'll make those happen for you. And thank you again, Azam.
All right, gentlemen, I got a couple more minutes with you.
So the Buddha is one of the wisest men on earth, and Carlos doesn't know what
He
he's
said
talking about.
suffering is pain, so he's right. I actually
No,
agree
it's
with
caused
you.
by pain, but doesn't have necessarily mean that pain causes suffering.
Can't stand you.
Anyways.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
You're causing me pain.
You're causing me suffering. Oh boy.
Yeah, someone gifted Carlos some subs. Shout out to that.
Osram, is there anything you want us to talk about real quick before we wrap this
Yeah.
up? Let's get on Osram's page for a second.
What about detoxing from hard substances? We can say. I'll let the healing expert take this on.
Carlos?
About me?
I was joking.
You know-
what kind of hard substances? Are we talking like heroin? What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Don't say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like that.
Oh.
Those stuff. That stuff. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good question that I do not know the answer to. Hard substances.
Would it be the same? You just follow the fasting protocol?
Yeah, I would. I don't know if it would be the same. I think there would be a heavier withdrawal. I remember being on an anti-anxiety medication in high school and just coming off of it. It was rough. So you're definitely going to feel it. The detox. You're going to feel the detox more, and that usually leads people to believe that it's not for them. But that's the actual sign that it's doing what it needs to do, is when you are not feeling good.
It's weird. It's weird for me. I've never felt any. They got a question for you, Paul, but I'm gonna make a statement real quick. I've never felt any addiction to any. What did you call them, Shiva?
Hard substances.
Substances. Yeah, I've done them all for long periods of time. I've never gotten addicted to anything. Alcohol, Snow White, all anything you can think of. I've done it all for a long time, and cigarettes, and I never.
Yeah.
I remember I quit cigarettes after smoking them for years, and I just quit it one day. Just no big deal. Never went back. Ozm wants to know. This is the guy who gifted me 5 subs. He wants to know, Tyler Durden, what is your proudest accomplishment?
Oh, that's a really good question. What's his name? Osram?
Ozm.
Awesome. This dude's dope.
He's awesome.
Proudest accomplishment. Wow. Proudest accomplishment. It's not something I've accomplished yet. It's something I'm in the process of, and I wouldn't even use the word accomplishment, but expressing myself, because that has probably been my biggest fear. So.
And that came from the book that I had recommended you to read, huh?
Yeah. What was that book again?
Radical Honesty.
Yeah, if everyone can read that, that's a phenomenal book, because it felt like death to me.
Shiva needs to read that
book.
Shiva
slowly just like expressing myself and like living true to me, and not like people pleasing and saying yes to people when I was saying no to me, and then, vice versa. Like just knowing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, Shiva, you should read the book Radical Honesty. I think it'll greatly improve your life and your YouTube channel.
It's a phenomenal book.
Put that out there for you.
Yeah.
My life.
Everything.
I want to add on to that. The proudest accomplishment thing. What I'm doing now. which is helping people, men and women who have experienced pretty traumatic stuff, and then the beliefs and the stories and the narratives and everything that's holding them back, helping them break through that, because that's the journey I'm on now. So that is,
I do like that. So that
yeah.
is one thing that I do believe is that the most noble thing that we can all do as human beings is help one another.
Yeah.
Um, somebody's commented sassy Shiva, LOL. Every stream now that we do, somebody calls Shiva sassy, sassy. And you know what that means. You know what that's keyword for. But yeah, no, honestly,
Well,
I think helping people is the highest thing that we can do, is just all help each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's because ultimately, I mean, I think Buddha even said you can't escape suffering. That's the part that I don't understand about Shiva's nonsense about that he's surpassed suffering, because I'm pretty sure Buddha said that you can't surpass it. He said life is suffering. So it's kind of silly that even his own spiritual guide says you can't get over it, but he thinks he did.
no, he didn't say that. Otherwise, there would be no freedom from suffering. That's what nirvana is, freedom from suffering.
Yeah, did he not make the statement that life is suffering?
That could be debated.
Meaning he probably did.
Meaning that the first noble truth is the noble truth of suffering.
Anywho, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before Paul's phone dies?
Yeah.
Someone says I should hit my second set of push-ups.
It's time.
I will do 20 push-ups, Danny, if you clip this and send me the raw footage so I can upload to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, Danny, can you do a cool like highlight video like you did for Shiva? Because I need one of those. That would
But
be the
only to
greatest
me,
video ever.
not to
Oh,
Carlos.
I want to see this. then.
All right, I guess I don't even know if I can.
Look, Azim said Nirvana is a state where you're not suffering, but you can't be in Nirvana 24/7. Thank you very much, Azim. That's exactly it.
I think that's what enlightened is, where
When
you
you
reach that and you're in that.
He said when you're taking a dump, you're not in Nirvana.
Oh my gosh.
Hey. All right. Looks like I'll do 21 because I'm spiritual.
Hit it.
And then I gotta go after that.
Yeah. We gotta stick around for 20 more push-ups from Shiva real quick.
Just gotta hurry. I'm on 3%.
Shiva. Shiva, make sure you stay in Nirvana. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Dude, he's cranking them.
21, 22.
Nice.
22 that time.
Cranking them out.
Cranking them out. Good job, Shiva.
Spiritual and jacked. Yeah.
Wow. Spiritually.
Wow.
Shiva,
Yep.
Spiritually jacked.
Shiva, were you in Nirvana that whole time?
Bro, so much nirvana, way past beyond suffering and pain.
Oh my god.
So much Nirvana that you had to stop. It was just too much Nirvana.
That definitely gets me right on the healing journey. Super fasting from you guys for a few seconds.
He's feeling 22 like Taylor Swift. He's a Swiftie. No, I don't know if you guys know this, but who's the one that said you were a Swiftie yesterday? Is that you, Paul?
Swiftie.
No, I do like some of her songs though.
Oh God,
Yeah.
Paul, come on.
Okay, I'll identify as a Swiftie.
Respect.
That's fine.
I'm just kidding.
I'm a believer.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anyway, so I think that's a good rabbit point. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm on 2%.
Thank you very much, everybody, for joining.
Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you again for.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you for the donation, Mr.
It's 5 get this sub, so now I got to do 5 custom videos for people. It's awesome. I like it. But hey, thank you again, Azim, for that furrow.
Yeah, Operculum, thank you very much for the $5 donation. And yeah, we'll talk again. If you have any discussions, if you want us to talk about something, let us know. We'll definitely talk. We're going to have Paul on the show pretty much every day. We're not going to let him escape. We're gonna milk him.
Ethically.
Yeah, very important
We're gonna
distinction.
No cows will be harmed. Yeah.
It'll be vegan,
Yeah.
no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
that she was a diddler.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. And
But,
yeah, my friends, so ramping it up. And who knows, maybe one day I'll go to Atlanta and I'll see both of you gentlemen for some vegan steaks or vegan burgers, not steaks.
I swear, one of these days I'm gonna sneak in some steak to his diet. He's gonna be like, "Why does this taste so good?"
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's my life's goal, is to trick Shiva into eating meat.
I'm definitely, if I go to Atlanta, I'll prank Carlos in some major way. That will be my life's mission and goal. There's no amount of internet bullying that's gonna make me forget all the things he said and did to me. So looks like Paul is
His phone died.
his phone died. Yeah. That's it, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Like the video, join our Discord, very important. It'll be in the description of this video. Shout out to Scary Hours Low. So you join his Discord server, subscribe to his podcast, and join me. If you want a spiritual consultation or reading with me, if you want me to be your guru, 220 Canadian dollars. Find the information down below in the description. And yeah, final words with you, Los.
Yeah. Thank you guys again for everything.
Oh, that's it. Take care.